what's like taking so much time?
No, it's just the workload. I'll be
Yeah,
doing training, I don't think next week, but the week after.
yeah, I gotcha. Well,
So
cause
that'll
I
suck then.
yeah, yeah. Did
It's
you
just like
did you
I was on
really?
a 15-minute meeting today at like 2:50ish, just like had to ask somebody a question and came back. And there was like
Yeah,
40 emails like that came in that time. And that's not the consistent like workload, but it's just like
yeah.
it's like just in the blink of an eye, I'll just be like destroyed.
Oh man.
It's
Jeez.
fine.
Okay. Yeah. Well, they added that new guy.
Yeah. So I haven't been taking calls very much at all lately, and that's good because the call load is super heavy. So I'm glad that they brought somebody else in.
Was it strictly so you're strictly doing supplies then?
I am on the phones for like the first hour or 2 hours of the day because I'm the only person from 7 to 8. Um,
Hmm.
and then two people come in at 8, and then two more people at 9, or three people at 8. But
Yeah.
so after that, I'm mostly like off the phones just because the workload is what it is.
Hmm. I see. I see. Okay. Is it so you guys scrapped your car?
That will be what we say if they ask us to go back to the office.
Oh, I was so confused because I was like, what the yeah, good because I was like I was talking with Justin and Justin goes, "Yeah, we scrapped our car for $300." I was like, "You scrapped your car for $300?" I was like, "Bro, I would have bought it for $300. What the heck? Like it still drives." And then I talked to Misha. Misha was having car issues, and so I was talking to her this morning on the phone, and I was like giving her like car advice, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you heard that Thomas, had his car scrapped," and he goes, and she was like, "Are you sure? Because like I'm pretty sure they're still driving around because Thomas just offered to take me to AutoZone." I was like, "Nope, it's definitely
Yeah.
gone. It's scrapped." And she was like, "But how is he gonna take me to AutoZone?" And I was like, "Wait a
That's a
minute, what's
great
going on
question.
here?" Justin could have told me that, you just didn't want to go in.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Fred.
What is up? I'm still chewing this lovely, I don't remember the flavor, gum. Oh my gosh, so cute. What is
Pink
that gum?
lemonade.
Pink lemonade. Thank you.
Pink
Pink lemonade
lemonade
gum?
is
It's
yes,
so good.
it's super,
It's
super good. You
so
guys
good.
know what else is really good? These.
Yes, those are also very good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm
I had
so
a
upset
I
that
had
the
a
audio is
question
still
for you
coming out of the
guys.
computer.
Oh wait, it never got fixed?
No, I just, it works with my work headset, and I would just plug this one in. I've restarted the computer plenty of times, but yeah, I loaded it up and Jeremy started talking, and I was like, damn it, it's not working.
Oh, so
It's
it's
not even
only
there as an option.
through Teams though? So like if you're taking phone calls, it's fine or
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's dumb. Submit a ticket.
And,
Okay.
well, Teams is fine with
No,
the
don't
other
submit a
headset, the
ticket.
one that I use for work. It's just this headset, so
Oh, okay. Okay. That's silly.
it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Aw. I had I had two questions for you guys
Hmm.
since both of you are very hard to get a hold of now.
I'm sorry. I'm not ignoring anyone, I promise.
Same.
No, I know, I know, I know.
There's only one person
Um,
that I actually actively ignore, but that's okay.
I
I
have
think I
one
know who
person
it
too.
Or
is.
That's
just like
awesome.
maybe not ignore, but tune out. Yeah. Other than that.
I suspect I know who it is,
Yeah,
but
it's neither
we'll
of you.
talk about.
Or
Yeah, yeah.
most of the people that I talk with.
I don't want to like be a gossip monger, but at the same time I do. Can I know who it is?
Yeah, it's
I
Bobby,
may not
the
even know them.
service manager. Yeah, I don't, if you haven't been in the office, I don't think you've been in the office since he started. So he's been there for like a month now.
What
Just
does he do
talks.
again?
He's the service manager.
Right, but what does he do again?
Mitts.
Oh, well, that's fair. That's a fair
He's the
question.
service manager of Mitts.
Yes. So Will moved into a director role, and then they hired Bobby to take Will's old position. And he just talks and talks and talks and talks and talks more. But he'll just keep going on and on about like how we need to fix this and how they should be doing this, and a lot of times it's like how another team should be doing them. Like, yeah, you're preaching to the choir. I don't control them though, so what do you want me to do? So I'll just like eventually I'll just turn back to my computer and start working and like literally tune him out and
Because
stuff.
you have to keep working.
It's like I have to keep working. I can't listen to you just like drone on and on and on because it could keep going forever and then I'll not get anything done.
Yeah, it's funny because Felix has only been there for like what, 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
Felix started 1 week after he did. So Felix is like basically almost at a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
So about 2 weeks in, Felix messages me and he's like, "Yeah, I don't like both of our managers here." And I was like, "Mm-hmm." And I knew exactly who he was talking about, the two managers, immediately. He's like, "These guys." I was like,
Oh
"Oh no."
man.
So,
Yeah.
but anyway,
Yeah.
I had
Anyway.
2 questions for you guys.
Mhm.
Question 1. For the next role-playing session, are you thinking before Labor Day or after Labor Day? So you guys get to choose. Do you like more role-playing or less role-playing?
I feel like I've got some stuff going on pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Is it this weekend? Yeah. We could do. We could do like.
I could do the
weekend of-
26th or 27th. That weekend's
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, I can do that one.
27th?
26 or
Because I
27.
checked with Misha this morning while she was trying to get her car running, and she said
Yeah.
Sunday, like the 27th, would be good.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah?
that's that weekend. This coming weekend doesn't work, but yeah, the next weekend, which would be the 27th.
27th. Okay. And that's roughly like a month, which I feel like is the sweet spot. Otherwise, people get
Yeah.
annoyed.
Is that true? Yeah, I think that's right. Was it
Can you all
Okay.
hear me?
I can
Yes.
hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So even the mic isn't going. So I'm wearing this headset for fucking nothing.
Just for show. Just because. Why not?
Second question.
Get out of here, you piece of shit. It still works for the PlayStation.
Okay, that's the more important part.
Sorry.
For the 27th, it's gonna be. I'm gonna cook again. It's gonna be Asian themed, but you guys get to choose. Do you want me to make Korean barbecue, or
Yes.
attempt to make pad thai?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you for
You're
your
asking me-
submissions.
You're basically asking, do you want me to make good food or good food?
Okay. So the answer is just yes. Okay, fair.
Chef's choice.
And those are the 2 questions. What do you guys want to do the next session, and what should I make? Okay, cool.
I didn't want to
There we go.
overcommit, but I have successfully made onigiri for the first time.
Oh yay! Wait, I remember you
So-
telling us about that.
Yeah,
I don't know
it worked.
when it
It
was,
didn't
couple
work
weeks
at
ago.
first, and I made them,
Yeah.
and it didn't work, and they fell apart, and I was like, oh no. And then I ate them like a monster.
Yeah. They're still
With my
they're still edible.
claws into my face. And then they worked. and I did it, and I was like, "Fuck yes, I figured it out."
Yay!
You just gotta like do it like
Really?
efficiently, and if you don't do it in like the first 4, it's gonna fall apart.
Am I hearing Asian themed potluck, Thomas?
I'm going to make onigiri again. I have salmon, so I want to do it one more time before I commit. But if it goes successful, yeah, I'll try to make some onigiri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be sure. You got to be sure that you got it down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You do raise a good point, because if the pad thai goes wrong, then I can just be like, "Here's Korean barbecue," or if the Korean barbecue goes wrong,
we have
so
this.
Honestly,
well,
I
don't want you to have
that.
to cook 2 meals to submit to us. That's a lot.
That's true, because that's a lot of work. That's a lot to ask. So it's your choice. It is whatever you want to do, or we just like run out and go get grocery store sushi, and you're like, this is fine. Yeah. None of it worked, so I don't
know. No. Well,
and also, in a lot of role-playing communities, usually a lot of times the person that runs the game is the one that supplies like the supplies, the place to do it, the story and the work that goes in with that. So it's like kind of understood that the crew is like the food people. But like if you want to feed us, not gonna say no.
Right.
I look at it this way. We do it so infrequently. We do it once a month. Like, I want it to be like a special event that people look forward to. That's how I like look at it. If we did it like every week, then no, I'm not gonna be cooking. I mean, then you're just like,
that's a lot.
Yeah. If I can't like cook for people like every week, but if it's like once a month, like I want people to look forward to it. Like I think that makes it cool.
Okay.
Mm.
The more the merrier. Whatever you guys want to do. I'm done. So I'll eat.
Okay, so I'm reading Lion Witch in the Wardrobe, and I'm getting so I'm reading it at lunch.
You messaged me today. It was so funny. Did he tell you this? Did he tell you the same thing?
Yeah.
Or he was like, it's making me feel things. I'm about to
really-
cry in the middle of the office.
I got to the part where they start tying him down to the stone table, and
that's what I thought. That's where I thought you were.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, I bet I know where you are.
Oh,
because I can remember reading that like every time. It's so sad. Yeah.
It's like devastating.
For it's just so.
Oh, is there artwork for that one too?
Yeah, page 152.
I don't remember. I'm definitely like on chapter 5, so. But I mean, I've read this.
Check out the Minotaur in the bottom left, because damn, he's a.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot about this picture. Yeah. Okay.
That Minotaur is so gnarly looking.
Yes, he's just like, oh, I'm just here. He's got like leprechaun shoes on.
Yeah, and like person eyes.
Yeah, they're very human. Yeah, it's sad in the movie too.
I vaguely remember watching the movie, but I don't remember it having nearly the same impact. Like I had seen the movie, I guess when it first came out, so it was so long ago, I didn't even remember what happened. And I was like,
it's probably like early mid 2000s when it came out, so yeah.
I started to see the parallels to Jesus, and I was like, oh no, not
no.
Table. Oh god, yeah.
Oh.
And Edmund is very much like a Judas.
Oh, I didn't even make that connection until now.
That's how I have always sort of interpreted it. Yeah.
That actually makes a lot of sense now that I think about it. But I didn't even make that connection.
Yeah. A lot of this I am also remembering from like what 4th grade when we read this book, and we were, of course, and well, first off, I went to a Catholic like a private Catholic grade school. So
Hmm.
of course they're gonna talk about because I guess I should that's context, because otherwise I don't think
Mhm.
a public school would be talking about those themes and making those connections. I don't know. I never
Cool.
went to public school, so
Went over the
um
allegory part of it in public school. I remember
okay.
that in third grade.
Okay.
Huh.
But yeah, we talked a lot about that. So those are things that I always remember. At least the big ones. Definitely like Aslan being Jesus basically, and crucified, and Edmund being like Judas. And then Peter is basically Peter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I didn't even. Man, you're okay. You're catching all this stuff that I definitely didn't
It's
catch
only
at
because
all.
I've remembered it from third
Mm.
grade or fourth grade.
Yeah, Peter and Peter. Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
it makes sense now.
Also makes he named him Peter, so
Okay.
yeah. It checks out.
The thing that stuck with me the most that's been different for me is how I feel about Susan. Because I remember her feeling like bossy older sister, and maybe that's
Yeah.
from the movie. Like maybe that's
She's
why
a
I feel that
little
way.
bit in the
But her
book
lines
though.
are so, but like they're so caring though, and I don't think I caught that when I was a kid. Like that she's always like looking out for the
Yeah.
right thing to do and like how to keep everyone
Yeah.
safe, but like still doing like the moral prerogative. Like
Right.
I have a much different look of her now. I like it better.
Hmm.
You might be right that she is a little bit bossier. Like the actress played her. Not that she wasn't caring in the movie, but less of that sort of caring nature behind it or intention behind it. Because I think early in the movie she does feel, it's been a while since I've read the movie,
Read
watched
the
the
movie.
movie. Yeah. So just from what I'm remembering, I feel like you're right. She is a little bit bossier in the movie, but in here it does come with like an intention of just care and worry, I guess,
Hmm.
about safety.
I also wonder if Jeremy's like how much Aslan and The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe impacted you was influenced by you having read The Magician's Nephew first. Because I feel like the first time
Yeah.
I read The
Yeah.
Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, it was the first one that I read, and then I read
Yeah,
Yeah.
Magician's Nephew and read it
for
through.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that definitely like has an impact and is probably not the way most people read through the series. I feel like even nowadays, most people would start with The Lion, the Witch, and the
I feel like they
Wardrobe just because
probably
that's what they
would.
hear about.
Right.
Hmm.
That is that's the big one.
Yeah. If you guys had not mentioned that chronologically, Magician's Nephew came first, there's no way that I was going to start with book 6 of 7. So that was not going to happen.
Right.
But
I mean, unless
it,
you buy a set today, it's still gonna have Magician's Nephew as one. But
oh,
Yeah,
really?
if you buy an older set, it will have
has to
it
be really
as,
old though.
yeah, like the one from the 70s that I have that was my mom's.
Yeah.
Those start like the first one is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and then it goes in the order of the publication
Oh,
date. So Magician's
interesting.
Nephew
That's
is
so cool.
6. Yeah. So
So cool.
because those are the ones that I had growing up, and this
Hmm.
was the one that like this was the first one I ever read. Um and we read that in school, and then my mom had the set at home, and I was like, "Oh, well, I'm just going to read the rest of them." So I just went in order of, how they were listed. So
Yeah. Can we all give a shout out to Ginny Harrelson? Just, I mean, excellent taste in books. Excellent taste in books.
She does. And my grandma, because it also comes from my grandma too, because she's an avid reader.
And what's her name?
Her name is also Ginny. So, I mean, she goes by Virginia. But they're
Ah,
both my her name is Virginia, my mom's name is Virginia, but my mom goes by Ginny.
mm, nice, nice. That's so cool that it's like generational.
Yeah.
What about like Thomas, do you have the same thing? Is it generational for you too? Did like your grandfather give your father books and then your father passed it down to you?
My dad's side of the family were really big readers. So my grandmama loved to read. My dad loved to read, which is cool because he's kind of like a biker dude, like in like appearance and demeanor and just like interest, but like he's also like very artistic and enjoys video games and reading and
Yeah.
things like that. So yeah, so when I was growing up, I was like definitely encouraged by my dad, who was encouraged by his mom. So
Yeah.
I think
That's
so. I
awesome.
think you're more likely to if you have like a family of readers.
I think so too. Because one of my cousins I know enjoys reading a lot. Growing up,
My cousin too.
yeah. Now I'm not quite sure. So she lives in Dallas, so I don't really get to see her that much. So I'm not really quite sure what she normally is reading. But growing up, my brother hated reading, like never. He like even if it was, for an assignment for school, he would like I don't think he ever probably finished a book that he was supposed to read for school.
Oh no. Oh no.
But now as an adult, he like I don't know, a few years ago just started picking up reading for pleasure and loves it now. So it's like, oh, that's
Really?
awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know for me if it's like multi-generational because like my dad, well you guys know he's always like loved Stephen
Yeah.
King. He even took me aside like a couple months ago. We were in a bookstore and he goes, "You see this?" And he like holds up The Shining by Stephen King. He's like, "Don't tell anyone, but I read this and it's really scary."
That's so cute. I love that.
That's really cute. That's so cute.
Because he's a very, very conservative person. So he views Stephen King as almost like bad, like you're not supposed to talk about it,
Taboo.
but like
Yeah.
Right.
he
Like,
can't, yeah, he can't
okay.
resist them. So like
Yeah.
he reads them, but he reads them in secret. Like he doesn't even let my mom know what he's reading. Like he read Billy Summers over the vacation and he's like, "Don't tell your mom."
It's hilarious.
That's cute. I love that.
Yeah.
That's like makes me think of Bo's parents. They don't so neither of them drink at all. But
Oh wow.
his mom has had like probably 3 drinks in her entire life, but I don't think that his dad knows at all.
Oh
And
really?
yeah, and it's been just like 'cause she was with some girlfriends and she's like, okay, whatever, I'll try
Yeah.
it. But she doesn't like it, so it's not anything that she, does on the side or in secret. But but just those like 2 drinks that she's had or whatever. In fact, there was a time they had like some family, I think it was some sort of family or friends that came in town and um the friends or whoever they were, family friends, whatever, wanted to go up to uh what's the vineyard that's in Braselton?
Martha's?
No,
Oh
not
no.
Martha. No,
Oh,
That is not Martha's Vineyard.
not
Chateau
Martha's.
Elan. If
Thank
it's
you,
here.
Chateau.
Chateau
Yeah.
Elan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so they wanted to go to Chateau Elan and Bo's mom went with them and she actually, they did like a wine tasting, whatever, of course. And she found one that she enjoyed. And so she ended up buying a bottle, but this was when we used to live in their basement apartment before
Hmm.
they moved.
Yeah.
And so she brought it downstairs to us and she's like, can you guys keep this in your fridge? Because she didn't
Oh,
want to keep.
I
And
love
then
that.
we're like, okay. And then there was like one weekend where his dad was like out of town, and so we're like, if you would like to have your wine, please enjoy it. It's here. And she was like, no,
Oh,
I'm not gonna drink it. You guys can have it. And we're like, We're definitely not gonna drink it because it was like a Moscato or something, and neither of us like sweet wine at all.
Oh,
So we're like,
yeah.
we're definitely not gonna drink it. I think it eventually just got thrown in the trash because
Oh,
like we don't like it, and like none of our friends like sweet wine, so and she wasn't gonna drink it. So yeah. If I had known you guys, then maybe I would have.
Oh,
I
yeah.
actually would have done that.
I have a tangent story. This I'm gonna try to show it up so it's like relevant to people that listen to our viewers. Um, but here's a picture of an old man that sat across from me early in the morning at a Barnes and Noble.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I love him.
And
I want to
here's a
be
picture of the
him
book that he was reading, and I think it was
when
a
I'm
cry for
older.
help. See if y'all can read it.
Growing.
Oh no! Wait, this is a meme. Is this serious?
And the way
The
he's
pictures
holding
I
it
took of a
too.
human out in the wild.
Yeah.
At my Barnes and Noble.
No way.
The way he's holding that too is like somebody
I
please
was
look at what
like,
I'm reading.
I think this man wants me to get him weed.
He saw you
I
and
didn't
he was
talk to
like,
him. I was in recovery at the time. I was like clean and sober and not smoking.
yeah,
But
What?
that's hilarious.
Oh wow.
He must have seen it. He was like, this guy, he might know how to do it.
and I was like, snap, snap.
This guy knows.
You know, I hope he learned from that book and got into his growing marijuana
Dream.
dreams and like really
I
made
hope
them,
that's what it is.
yeah, really made them come alive. I don't know.
Yeah. Just don't eat it.
I had a thought while reading The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and I've been waiting to share it with you guys. I was reading. I'm like farther behind than you are, Jeremy. I'm at the Beavers. The Beavers are taking them to the bird that will take them to Aslan. Um, and when Mr. Beaver says his name, it makes them all feel different ways. And it's unpleasant for Edmund, and everybody else has like this like unique,
Right.
joyous experience to them and how they view the world. And it made me think that is the like a great example of the way a cosmic horror or like a Lovecraftian like enemy or creature influences like the protagonists or like the beings of the world that it visits. It's all the same abilities as a god of like just when you hear its name it like affects you emotionally and mentally in ways that you can
Yeah.
account for.
Interesting.
Yep.
Their ability to create and change reality. And I was like, oh shit, our Lovecraftian, like they're described as old gods. And I never like really put it together that like, yeah, they got god powers. That's what makes them so terrifying.
Yeah.
To your point, kind of to add on to it, um, it's based off the Bible, and obviously, in the Bible, names are very important. And I remember there was this sequence. It was right at the end of one of the chapters. Maybe it was like the end of chapter 12 or chapter 13. And someone says something. I think Edmund is in the sleigh with the witch,
Yeah.
and as they're riding, there's all these signs of spring that's starting to come, and basically, it's pushing out the winter, like this perpetual winter that's been going on. And one of the characters says like Aslan is coming or something like that, and she's like, don't say his name, don't say his name. And so I think Thomas really picked up on something with that. It seems like names are really important in the book series.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know that I've ever
Also,
really thought about that, but that's a good point.
I didn't think
Mhm.
about it till now, but the tree that is planted that protects Narnia from the witch's influence, that's not mentioned at all in Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I don't think it's something that he thought of, but it is really cool that
Yeah.
within the timeline of what must have happened is that I'm starting to think that the witch used winter to kill the tree and encroached winter upon Narnia to wear down its
Possibly.
magical effects and then ultimately destroy it. And now that her power's waning, winter's going away and spring again. And that's kind of cool that it connects that way. I wonder how intentional that was.
That's interesting.
Interesting. I never really thought about that either.
Yeah, because you kind of forget about it after The Magician's Nephew because it's no
Yeah,
longer
I
relevant.
kind of. It's kind of interesting because I feel like that's maybe the one thing in Magician's Nephew that's sort of talked about that's not even talked about in, how everything in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, you can see where it ties in The Magician's Nephew, like the lamp post and the wardrobe, which came from the tree that they planted in the back, and that kind of stuff. But I don't know that I ever really connected that the tree that grows in Narnia to protect Narnia isn't actually really talked about.
It's not there anymore.
Does it come in a later book?
I don't know. Not in a way that I remember. Maybe the silver chair is made out of it.
Maybe. Okay. Yeah. It's just been it's so long since I've read all of them all the way through, so can't really remember.
I'm reading all of them. I'm reading all of them for sure. I can't stop now. I really
They're
like
such tiny little books. I love the way C.S. Lewis portrays his characters, the way they speak to each other. There's this underlying politeness within their older dialogue that just doesn't exist anymore, or certainly not in the same way.
But it is also it's very British.
It's so
like the way that they talk to each other, even though yes, this is taking place in the 40s in the midst of World War II. So they did talk a little bit more proper, I guess, but still it's there's times where I can just hear the English accents in my head. It's so British. No American would say it that way. It's hilarious. I love it.
Another thing, so when Thomas made that comment about the tree, it made me think of another thing, and let me run this past you guys and see what you think. So wait, what happened?
You said his name and he goes.
Whenever my name gets mentioned, I try to do a little wave.
Oh, I didn't notice. I thought maybe a cat was hanging from a chandelier behind me or something.
That's fair. Climbing the drapes back there.
Seriously. So when the witch has her power over Narnia, they made this really interesting statement where it's this permanent winter, but then they always say it's like winter, but then it never reaches Christmas time. So you never get the joy of all the snow and the frigid weather. And then you think about Christmas, the birth of Christmas. So it's as long as she's in control, then Christmas never arrives. But then as she loses control, then Christmas returns.
Oh, I never thought about that connection. How then Aslan sacrifices himself and
you know what I mean?
Defeats her. That's really cool. I never thought about that.
Interesting. Of Christmas, the return of Christ, because they mention it maybe three or at least 3 times. They're like, oh, it's so cold. It sucks here in Narnia. But
it's not even Christmas.
Christmas here. Oh no.
Right.
But, and they said it over and over, and then that made me start thinking about it, because usually if the author puts emphasis on something like that and they keep saying it over and over, they want you to pick up on something. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but
I think you are correct, because it's not like yes, it's meant to celebrate the birth of Christ, but it's not like when Jesus was born, the next year that everybody was like, it's Christmas time now. You know, like it's not. It's not. I mean, that didn't develop until later in human culture and whatever. And of course, a lot of the traditions of Christmas are pagan anyway. But
yeah. Thanks, Romans.
ruining
No
everything,
thanks.
changing the names of
Right.
the Greek gods. Come on.
Let's mix pagan traditions with Christianity so that both sides are happy.
Yeah.
Maybe we're not happy about that.
But I mean, it is true though, because it would be the return and celebrating his whole, I mean, essentially his whole life, because that's what Christianity is. It's celebrating his whole life. But yeah, you're right. That is interesting. I like that.
I don't know.
It's a good observation.
Just something I noticed.
No, I agree. But it is also
completely glossing over like the super obvious stuff that Christy picked out, like Edmund is basically Judas and Peter, you know, like the Apostle Peter, and I'm just like, oh yeah,
it's
how
like
did
the
I miss
leader
those
of
super
the
obvious
church
things?
Yeah. I also thought of it as okay, for me, I hate cold weather. I don't even like snow really. Like snow is cool and it's fun when it falls, but usually after like 24 hours, if it's not gone, I'm like, all right, when is this snow getting out of here? I'm a little bit of a Scrooge, I guess, when it comes to because I feel like generally everybody is like snow, and they like never want it to go away. But yeah. But I hate cold weather, but the holidays as a whole, so like Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, those all sort of make that whole long, dark, cold time of the year worth it. Like I have things to look forward to rather than just like it's just gonna be cold and dark for the next, 4 months or whatever.
Right.
So I'm thinking of it that way. It's like, oh my gosh, it's just like cold and dark all the time in Narnia.
It's like the second week of January, always in Narnia.
Always, or it's like February, always in, because February is like the worst month. It's you don't have any of that joy to look forward to. Yeah.
Yep.
That's also how I thought of it.
Such good writing. That
yeah.
He like encapsulated that emotion or that feeling so well. It's like December, but you never hit the holiday. And it's like, wow, that's really good writing.
That's powerful,
like,
yeah.
It is.
It really is.
That's another thing too, is like it's good for adults and children, because children can really understand that.
Oh yeah, like wait, it's cold but never Christmas. What?
Well, yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah. I don't ever get gifts. Yeah.
It's
Santa.
Yeah, that's he's writing on two different levels. He's writing to both children and adults at the same time, which is fascinating.
Yeah.
Because you have so many parallels with the Bible, which is obviously going to go right over a kid's head. But then it also appeals to children too, which is just like genius.
Yeah.
And even the stuff that appeals to children, like throughout it too, are so well written and just like fun to read that like there's no part of this that I'm like, this is dumb for me to read right now.
Right. None of it
like I'm not getting anything
childish.
out of the book.
Yeah. It doesn't feel childish where it was like there's times where I've read something that and it was meant to be written for kids or young adults. And I'm like, I can remember a time in my life where I would have related to that, but I don't relate to it anymore being an adult, so it just feels immature and childish to me. So like I get it, but
like
at the
dialogue, like when they like butt heads, I'm like, look at them go.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not that way in any of these. So
do you well, okay, so here's another point that I wanted to touch on. So I'm just now remembering. I don't think it was last week, but maybe 2 weeks ago, I remember walking over to Chrissy's cubicle and I was like, isn't it so weird how this random cab driver basically became like Adam of this new world, like this new paradise, this Narnia? And I was just thinking like it was so goofy how they just grab like this random guy and they're like, you're like the new Adam for like you're
Yeah,
going to
you're
have
the
all these
king.
beasts in subjection,
Yeah.
uh
And here's
you know, a
your
magician's nephew.
Eve. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you have like your Adam and Eve. Yeah, exactly. But then Chrissy like said something which then made me think, and she was like, "Well, he was chosen because of his heart condition. So he was picked for that position because of his demeanor or his qualities or traits, and
His
that's
character,
why
I think. Yeah.
his character. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then I thought about that point for a second, and that kind of felt biblical to me, where it's just this lowly cab driver, just this random
Oh yeah.
nobody, just this regular guy that you pick up off the street, but it was his
Kind of
traits or
King
like
David-y, like.
condition.
Oh yeah. Yeah, actually, a little bit.
Yeah. And it felt very much like, you know, once again, like following a Bible principle, like you can be anybody, just like a regular cab driver, but because of your outlook on life, like then that's why he's chosen for that position. So
Right.
so I went from like kind of giggling, like they just grabbed this random guy and made him Adam, and then like I thought about the conversation, and I was like, wait, you know, like if you look at it at a deeper level, it's actually kind of interesting that they just picked this random guy. Like I thought that was actually pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah,
Especially when Aslan is asking him, or he's like, I don't think I can be a king. Like, I'm not qualified for that. Um, and Aslan's asking him, like, well, would you, I guess, something like, would you rule over all of the animals fairly or treat them with kindness? And I don't know, all these questions. And he's like, yeah, or I mean, yeah, I would do my best to, or, and he's like, then that's all that you need to be a king. And like, it's just his character that Aslan saw in him,
Yeah.
uh, that
he's
fit
very
the
like salt
bill.
of the earth, like
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
hardworking.
Yeah. Not
And
like he's not gonna just like hide away when, if there's like battle or something. He's not gonna be a coward and just he's gonna be like, I'll stand in there with you.
I think the
Yeah.
conversation he has with Strawberry factors into it too, when like he's confronted with like
Oh
how he
yeah.
was using a creature for so long. It's pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
And he felt sorry about it, but he's like, look, I had a job and I had to do it. I
Right.
guess.
Right.
Yeah. Had to make a living somehow, I guess.
Hmm.
I gave you sugar cubes.
Didn't I? Carrots and I don't know, oats.
Speaking
Yeah.
of, earlier today, I went out to talk to Justin and be like, I can't take it. And it was 3 o'clock, which is about an hour after Newton ate. And he was like screaming at me and running back to his food. And I was like, you little hungry boy, it's been 1 hour. You ate a whole ass slab of squish meat an hour ago.
Squish meat.
Squish meat. That's
That
what
is
it
what it is. It's definitely. That's a perfect
That's an
description for
awesome
it.
descriptor.
Squish
Squish
for
meat.
short.
Yeah, I love when they do that. They're like looking at you, like looking at the bowl, like
He
looking at
like
you. And you're
runs
like,
into the kitchen and then pokes back around the
yeah,
corner.
you're
And I'm
like,
like, yeah, I see you, buddy.
yeah, yep. You don't have food because it's in your belly.
Can y'all see him?
No.
Mm.
He is. He's like right here. It's just this
Oh.
little dark spot, just right in this area.
Oh, I think I see him. Oh, a little bit. A black blob. Oh
There
wait,
he
I
goes.
see. Oh, there he is. There he is. He moves. He moved.
Oh.
That's my boy.
So cute.
Aw. Have have you guys ever peed on your cat?
What?
What?
I mean, I haven't.
Did you?
Neither have I. That's
Certainly
that'd
not
be
on
weird.
purpose and not on
Tell me a
accident.
story about a person who may have peed on their cat, though. Give me that story.
Like hypothetically, how would that
Like-
have happened?
Do you have like the night light on
Hypothetically-
and miss, and there's a cat there?
Like maybe okay, so like there's this hypothetical person that wakes up early because they live in little 5 Points and
Yeah.
they need to get to the office early to beat traffic on 400.
Yeah.
So maybe they're like groggy because it's like 5:30 in the morning and they turn on the light and they're like going number 1, and then there's like some movement like out of your peripheral, some darting, and
Oh
like
no!
a creature basically trying to jump into the toilet to like gaze upon
What's
the
what's going
waters.
on? Yeah. What's in
sitch.
there?
It just
Yeah.
it definitely didn't happen to me ever because that'd be weird. But
I mean, I've definitely
Yeah,
had
it's just-
Ponyo like, you flush the toilet, she'll just look in the toilet and like,
I
Just
know.
watch it.
And it's,
just
and
watch
it's
it
like
go
both
down.
of them. Both of them
Like,
now. And I'm
what
just
you
like,
looking at?
stop, go away.
Yeah.
Why is it so fascinating?
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get that fascination.
I don't
People do that if it's
understand,
close
like,
to like feeding time. If I like don't push the door too, he like busts in, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh
"Hey!"
yeah.
And he's like, "No," and just like walk right up to me, and I'm like, "I'm pooping. What are you doing?"
Hey. You need to be in here.
do your cats try to jump into the toilet?
No. Mine-
Luckily, no.
No. I feel like that
Same
may just
here.
maybe that's
Good.
maybe that's because they're
No.
babies and they're like, I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna try it.
I'm in agreement with you guys. Never happened to me because that'd be crazy if your cats try to jump into the toilet.
So you can go find there are a whole bunch of pictures just out on the internet of dudes sitting on the toilet with a picture like pointing down like this at their feet because a cat has crawled into their like pants and underwear and it's just like curled up and like I've seen way too many pictures like that. It's actually
Oh,
kind of
man.
hilarious. Cat's like, oh, you're here. Okay. I guess you're here for a bit, so I'll just take a nap in your underwear.
Oh man. Both
I don't know.
both cats will literally try to launch themselves into the toilet. It's insane. I'm just like, what are you doing?
In this hypothetical person's toilet.
Yeah.
In this yeah, exactly. Also a hypothetical person, someone who isn't me. You get out of the shower and then it's like a feeding frenzy where they just want to drink the shower water, and I'm like,
Yeah, I've
why?
seen
Yeah.
Ponyo doesn't do that, but I've seen cats. Yeah, that's not surprising.
What are you guys doing?
One time
Yeah.
I got out of the shower. This is when I was like younger and I lived with Greg the first time in my like early 20s. I had Newton and Artemis, my other black cat, and I got out of the shower and like dried off a little bit and was like, oh, I need my robe, and nobody was home. So I just like opened the door and like just walked, the like 5 feet like across the hallway to my room, grabbed my robe hanging up and like threw it on and came back into the bathroom. And when I got back into the bathroom that I had just showered in, like, it's still all steamy and it was me in showering, Newton is sitting on the toilet, the closed toilet, just sitting there. And Artemis, my other cat, is in the bathtub that's still wet, facing the corner and sitting. And I was just like, weird. What are y'all doing?
Nice.
I was gone for 3 seconds. Like,
Come back
and
in,
y'all
you got,
ran
like,
in
2
here and
cats that are
positioned
just like,
yourself.
hey. Okay. Hey. Ponyo will she will jump onto the side of the bathtub. On the inside of the shower curtain, but like in between the shower curtain and the shower lining.
Okay.
Like the liner. So she's not getting any water on her, but she's in between these two curtains. And she'll just like sit on the edge.
He probably loves that. It's probably a
Just like,
great
look.
environment for a cat.
Yeah.
Like a little corridor.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's all sort of like enclosed.
Like a church.
Yeah. She'll jump up into
vestibule.
there and just like look at you while you're showering.
You said vestibule. We have to read Piranesi together.
Yeah, we do.
I need
that
to
would be
reread it
amazing.
because I told my friend I'd like draw pictures in her copy and shit. And I just
Oh,
read the book
what?
because it was so good.
Yeah.
It's so good, guys. We should read this.
Draw pictures in
Let's
my
do it.
copy too, bro.
Let's do it. I'll read it.
You know what's so funny? My other book club with my cousin, he was like trying to get me to read that, like legit. Like,
Oh,
before
really?
you even
Ooh.
brought it up, he was totally trying to get me to read that. So
It's
cool.
become one of my favorite books. Like, it's such a good story. It's so good. The
Hmm.
pacing, the character, the way it's written, the reveals and the pacing of the reveals, like it's just delectable. Every bit of the story is wonderful. Like, I think I read it in like three or four sittings that like I had to like keep myself from reading it because I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna read it all right like tonight and stay up till 4 a.m.
And
I
I
can't
gotta
do that.
go to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Going back to the cats, I would like to point out I did not do this. This was not my doing, but our upstairs bathroom has been completely taken over by like cat stuff. Like,
Yeah, this is now their bathroom.
Oh, not using that bathtub anymore because it's just kitty litter. Playground thing. It's just like, oh, scratching toy. So it's now become like the cat world. So anyway.
Yeah,
Nice.
I know that is. We have our apartment is a 2.5 bath. So obviously like we have our bathroom and then there's just the half bath and then there's another bathroom that connects to the second bedroom because it's a two bed 2.5 bath. But the second bedroom that has the second full bathroom is just Tanya's bathroom.
Oh.
It's like nobody uses it.
Yeah.
In fact, we shut off the water in that bathroom because like nobody's using it. So her litter box is in there and it's her bathroom.
So smart. That's so smart though.
Yeah, it's great because and actually this is the room that I'm in is the other
Is the like office the like other bedroom?
Yeah, we don't have a bed in here. So it's just set up as an office and then it has like a bunch of random crap in it as well. But the bathroom is that door.
I've always wanted to have a living room set up with like a tete-a-tete couch. Have you ever seen those? Where it's like one person faces one way, and so like this will be their back and their legs are this way, and the other person's like here on a separate chair, but like facing them, but facing that way, with their legs going this way.
Yes. Those are cool.
I always wanted to have a living room set up with that for me and Justin with like our TVs. Like, but like, also
Ooh,
another chair.
That
so
would
that,
be
like,
a good idea.
But like I thought that'd be cute.
Awesome.
And then we'd be like there with each other.
Yeah. That's a great idea. I love that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where Chrissy, is that the room with your book collection? Is that where you keep all your books in boxes?
Yes. Over here is
I like the way you looked. You were like, oh, all this
over here? Yeah. There's a big stack of books here. One stack is books. So any of the books that are like actually out are books that I have bought since there's probably a few that I pulled out of the boxes, but basically all of them are ones that I bought since I've been here, since we've been living here. And so there's a stack of books that I've already read through, and then there's a obviously much larger stack of books that I have not yet read because I keep buying books. And then there's like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sorry, text Misha.
4 boxes of books, and they're varying sizes. Some of the like a couple of the boxes are really small. But then there's
Oh,
there
okay.
is actually a stack of books back here because I was trying to find something at one point and I was like, ah, take all the books out. And I just didn't put them back yet. So
Okay.
yes, this is the room that has the boxes, or I mean the books, and the boxes with books.
And the one. Yep, they're there.
They're right here.
Thomas.
Hi.
Thomas, do you also want to go through all those boxes and see everything that
Oh,
she has?
I was gonna offer. I was like, hey, like whenever y'all get shelves, I can come over and
Yeah.
like not talk to make Bo feel better,
Yeah.
and we can just build shelves and put the books on them.
Not talk to me.
Can I
I'd love to
join
help.
you? Can I join you?
Please.
You can't. We can't talk though.
Okay, we won't talk.
No,
We'll be very
there's
serious.
talking is allowed.
Mm,
Talking is
okay,
allowed.
but we will be very serious. We are there for work.
Only logistics speak.
Yeah.
Only logistics. No
Where did-
role playing. We
Nice
will not
show.
Where should
build
we put
book
this
placing.
book? Yeah.
Yes. Pass me the screwdriver, Mr. Darling. Yes. And then
No.
we'll look like that. Yeah, like we're unhappy and pondering things. Yes.
I mean, but Bo can just he can just go race.
And I'll secretly like look at all the books and be like, oh, wow, this is cool. And then I'll be like, can I borrow this one? I loved going through your book collection, Thomas. It was so fun because you had it in
Oh.
like multiple places. So I was just like, oh, what
Oh
does he
yeah,
like
that's
to
what I would
read?
love to have. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want like one room that's just
My
like.
goal is to
Oh,
have books on every wall. I don't have that
Yeah.
now, but I want to have that.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
I want to
I
fill bookshelves. It's a joy.
yeah,
Fine.
I like going through people's book collections because I feel like I can kind of like almost tell something about a person's personality from going through their
Yeah.
book collection.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
know?
Yeah.
So it's like you're almost like reading their mind a little bit when you can see what they enjoy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I like
true.
doing it.
I like that.
Mm.
Speaking of
All friends.
more books,
Mhm.
Stephen King has a book coming out on the 5th.
He does.
Holly, yeah, it's what is it
Yeah.
called? Holly, right? It's
Just-
about
it's
Holly
called-
Gibney.
Mm-hmm.
From The
Yeah.
Outsider.
Yeah. Apparently, and I've never read these, but she does make appearances in Mr. Mercedes and Finders Keepers too.
Yes.
Oh.
But her largest role, well, okay, I guess besides the book that's about her, is The Outsider. Yeah.
That's exciting. More books to queue up.
I'm so excited.
Did you guys want to do that one?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I loved that character in The Outsider.
I haven't read them, so it'll be interesting to like read this, and then I like
so
eventually
good.
I'll read the other ones and be able to piece
Yeah.
it together.
Yeah, I've never
Oh.
read Mr. Mercedes or Finders Keepers, but The Outsider is a fantastic book. It's also a very good show too.
Really?
Which I think was it Hulu or Netflix? I can't remember which one they made the show
Oh.
after the book.
Oh.
But in the book, I just remember really loving Holly's character in the book. So that's exciting that she now has a book about her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That gives me something to watch now because I've been looking for something to watch. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, friends, I don't want to cut it short, but I am gonna have to get ready to go grab Misha
Oh yes.
with my car that I don't have.
The battery.
The battery. She needs a battery.
She does.
With the car we don't have.
Did you hear me talking to Misha on the phone this morning?
I don't know. I don't think I
Oh,
did.
okay. I was like, you have tools, right? And you know how to do this, so you're not gonna kill yourself. And she was like, yeah, I'm a lesbian. I
I'm
know
a
how
lesbian.
to do this.
I have all the tools.
Yeah, I'm a lesbian.
I was like, okay,
Checks
all
out.
right. We will. Cool. All right. Bye, Thomas. Thank you
Bye,
for
my
helping
friends.
Alicia. See ya. All right. See you guys next week.
Bye bye
Bye.
bye.